Hello. Okay, lunch stream. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Switch the sound off. So, I thought I'd do a lunch stream. Uh, this is one of the thumbnails that I did at the beginning of the previous week. I painted on it a little bit. So I thought I'd spend my lunch uh, painting on it a bit.
Hey, who wants to play drink?
Hey, Bear Bros. Cheers for the host.
All right, what do I win? Another beer. Oh, I'm going for the high score.
You guys are... You're funny. Hey, leave me, Leo. Lime Leo. Well, no lunch for you, man. You can have a beer. A beer lunch. So, this is just, like I mentioned, one of the thumbnails I started working up. It's far from being anything near finished. Hey, Eric. Thanks. Hey, Ariane, how's it going, man? Yeah, so I thought I'd stream this one a little bit, and I kind of like it. So I thought I'd do an epic scene. And my apologies for the cold. Still haven't shaken it. So we'll see. I started adding a little bit of details, like mostly there are notes for me, but you can kind of see them hinted in the background. It's gonna be this stairs, um, massive stairs in the background with orcs on them, like an army of orcs back here with spears and shields and whatnot. So that it'll be this kind of epic, this hero that's fighting. He's facing an army, and I thought I'd have the stairs up here as well, but obviously a little bit further back, so that it looks like this forever, forever staircase of orcs. We'll see if I manage to get there at some point, but the idea is to kind of work on it a little bit more. The resolution is like this, but I fear I need to double it. Um, yeah, it's not big enough at all. Let's double it. Wow. First time I see my computer think this long. What is the reason? Maybe it's all the millions of layers. Let's just flatten it. What's this? Oh, screenshot. Alright. Ah, thanks, Ariane. But like I said, it's still just a thumbnail. But it's getting. I thought I like the idea of an epic battle scene like this. So I've been spending like I think last Saturday morning just noodling on it, having coffee, and I kind of like where it's going. So I thought I'd stream some more working on it. Still not undecisive on on what's gonna happen and how it's gonna happen, but there's something in it that I like, and I like this is the original direction of the composition, by the way. Um, which I'm gonna keep painting. I mean, the goal is to have it in this direction, not the other way around, because the direction is opposite. I want it to all face him, right? They're all progressing forward, the orcs, and he's the stop. In the other way around, for me, it feels like he's the attacker, right, and they are stopping him. But I want it the other way around. I want him to be the like the stop in the motion. And the idea is also that the orcs should be below him. I don't know if it's comes through yet, but the idea in the end that there will be flags up here and spears kind of pointing towards him. Um, so that he's like fully in battle. And I want there to be like shield orcs and all sorts of things. I was thinking of making like a character of Lord of the Rings standing there, but then I thought, screw that. I'll just do some like fantasy type character. I haven't at all given this piece any thought of who it is or uh, what he looks like. This is just all random. Lime Leo or Limo Leo, raining arrows. Yeah, I think that would be cool. I think putting some arrows in could be a nice idea. Like they're raining down. Could be nice little like directional hints. I'll keep that. But the the color lover in me want to go straight to color. I just want to start defining the palette and all this. But this time around, I thought I'd stick it out a little bit before heading into color. I want to work on the grayscale a lot more this time around as an experiment. Usually, I just jump into painting and have fun, like molding the painting, right? But a lot of times it's so much wasted time when I'm just doing my like personal sketches. For work, it's way more organized because you always need to update the client, so you have to be working on a like it helps if you have a workflow. So for work, I always do the same workflow, so I never um, have the issue of just messing around with paint. But as this isn't for work, this is just me having fun. I tend to always experiment and just enjoy the ride rather than finish the piece. But this time around, I thought actually I should try to finish something. So that's why I'm kind of taking my time establishing the composition more. Limo Leo, yeah, of course. You can't, you know. I think I sell some prints of fan art, but I've taken the fan art to a certain extent that it's not their IP anymore. Like I sell prints of steampunk Star Wars. I did a series of steampunk Star Wars character illustration designs, and I'm obviously selling them, and Star Wars have seen them and all that, and obviously I've taken them in their own direction enough so that they can't probably, well, I shouldn't say can't. They can if they want to, but they haven't said anything yet. So. And they've been on the internet since 2008, so they must be cool with it. Not so much smart as in like evil genius, but uh, my intention wasn't not to create a product that I can I can steal money from Star Wars, but the idea is just I'm a big fan of it. So here you see some of them. Any people even done cosplay, but there should be more. I don't know why my website isn't showing them all, but yeah, these kind of guys. Oh, really, Eric? That's cool, Eric. Um, Link me on Discord if you know where they are. I'd like to have a read. I mean, they've been traveling the internet for so many years now. It's always fun to see what when someone does something. You know. But at the height of their popularity, they were I got so much traffic for them. They were really going viral for a while. Not so much anymore. Oh, really, Limo Leo? The Last Jedi? I kind of liked it. I went to see it with my son. He loved it. Me, it's like it's a good. For me, it's a good Star Wars movie. Um, Nothing like the three original. I think the three original ones were geared for grown-ups, but they were not scary enough so that kids could also appreciate them. But they were definitely. I think I have a memory of them saying it's not a kids movie. It's a movie made for grown-ups. Um, because back then it was like sci-fi is for kids. No respectable grown-up would like it. You know, and it was made for grown-ups, and I think it reflects that a little bit as well in the way it's a little bit a lot more complex narrative compared to the more recent ones where they clearly uh, made the movies for children primarily, and then secondarily is for grown-ups, like with some more advanced jokes in there, but uh, most of it is for kids now. Yeah, it's a lot of it. I think Rogue One was definitely more towards grown-ups, but it was more like an action movie rather than a interesting sci-fi. I think Rogue One was pretty good. Force Awakens was uh, just for kids. Last Jedi was pretty cool, but I think it would have been way better if they geared it to towards grown-ups instead of kids. Too much randomness and too much like they had to soften a lot of things because kids will be scared. Like when the some of the fight scenes and so on. I was almost gonna do spoilers, but yeah, that's yeah. I've given up the hope that it'll be for grown-ups. It's just now it's a kids movie. It's just that's the way it is, and that's how I approach them when I go to the cinema. I take my son with me. He loves them. I just enjoy them. I kind of like the whole space opera world. I love like Fifth Element is such a cool movie. And I was talking about something Carbon, this Netflix TV show. Is clearly not for kids, which is cool. Which I think a lot of grown-ups are missing. Altered carbine or something like that. I really like the tone of it. They couldn't even go darker. Limo Leo, well, maybe one can hope. Um, I mean, obviously, Game of Thrones is for grown-ups, um, but Disney owns the IP, um, and I'm quite sure that Disney attaches like rules of conduct when it comes to IP, how they treat IPs. If you get handed a Star Wars IP under Disney, I'm quite sure that there are guides and regulations of what you can and cannot show. Like no tits, for sure. If Game of Thrones people will make Star Wars, definitely a big clause in the contract of IP treatment is no tits. I haven't seen a lot of uh, altered carbon. I think I'm 2 episodes in, but it's really cool. I really like the opening sequence with before the main character is fully introduced, when that kind of kitchen fight scene. That whole thing was like, whoa, shit, that this is awesome. Like, really, really set the tone. And at least in the beginning, when with all the introductions of characters and so on, like standard narrative tools, it kind of became a little bit too much hand holding, a bit too cheesy. So I'm hoping that when I watch it further, they're gonna kind of become a little bit more serious, like they were in the intro. My concern is that they'll keep having this, oh, magic, you're magical super species man, which I hope they kind of tone down and just make it dirty and gritty. We'll see. Atsuki, yeah, the visuals definitely. It's Blade Runner. It's like, oh yeah, cyberpunk. Limo Leo. I don't know actually if Deadpool is of Disney, um, but that also was the first time really that they made a 18 plus superhero movie. It hadn't really been done before, and it was more or less a gamble on their end, and it blew up. You know, lots of grown-ups were like, oh, finally. Which was a huge success for them. Which I agree with. Deadpool was hilarious, and the fact that it is on a kid's IP, in that sense, is just unheard of. And I really love the fact that there should be more than one layer to superheroes. Like that's why, for example, I love the TV show. What's it called? Heroes? Is that what they were called? Like bloody, and they were hunting and killing each other and stuff. That was, for me, that was so exciting and new. and really groundbreaking, and I think paved the way of showing people that you can actually go quite adult with supernatural things. It's the same era as like Lost and all that, but yeah, Heroes is actually a really cool TV show. I need to revisit that. It's a cool world. Logan. I haven't seen Logan actually. Um, Logan. I watched one trailer of Logan, and then nothing more. But that's one of the movies I need to see as well, which I haven't. But that apparently, or supposedly, uh, is a lot more gritty and dirty. Limo Leo, right? All right, that sounds good. Sounds good. Might need to have a look at that then. Yeah, but I saw the whole one scene when Logan is like cutting hands of someone with a gun, uh, or is it like stabbing him through the head or something? When I saw that, I was like, all right, that this is not for kids. But I have yet to see it. I want to see it though. I think it could be cool. Yeah, but I'm a huge movie fan. I love watching movies, even since like, as a kid. I love the whole um, like you leave your body when you're watching a movie. You don't think I am sitting on the sofa watching this movie. Um, that's one of the things I love with movies is that you are there, right? You don't have a physical body when you're watching a movie. That's one of the like beauties of it, like this projection aspect of it. Total immersion. Let's just zoom in a bit on this guy. Hey, Helix, no problems. Limo Leo. Well, series is not really the same though. They're designed to be like lunch sized. Um, hey, hot design. Thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. High five. Like I said, TV shows isn't designed the same way. A good movie uh, puts you on a completely different ride. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, I love one of the things as well. I love is it like this breath you take after the movie, and you kind of like scramble your mind and try to focus and make sense of the experiences. Like, what is the takeaway from from what just experienced? Like, I was sitting there for 1.5, 2 hours, and like, what has it done to my mind? And a lot of times, I love the whole like you're pumped. I love that feeling of after watching a movie and you're pumped. Like, oh yeah, that was like you get like juices flowing in your mind. Like, oh, what if this? What if that? How would I do it? And like, yeah, it's just this immersion feeling. I'm just I just a big fan of. And you get that with really good games as well. Really bad games where pacing is off, you're instantly taken out of it, and those kind of games I get bored of. But when they make it right, you can sit and play a game for hours, and you forget about time. Limo Leo. Well, yeah, there's thousands of shit ones and a handful of good ones. Hey, Pro 4210. Hello, Tentacle High Five. It looks like he holding a kappa head in the chat, which is funny for me at least. Like the tentacle's hand is just at the kappa head, so it looks like he's holding the. I'll show you in the stream. You see? He has a kappa head. Yeah, Pro 42's have been waiting for the perfect moment for half an hour since the stream started. Just type the correct amount of letters and a kappa head, and I will strike with deadly accuracy. He was sitting there. Control V, ready. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Waiting, waiting. Yep. Okay, this guy in the background, he's kind of jumping. Um, and currently, it feels like he's standing. So what I gotta do is add momentum, right? So if he's jumping like that, or is he jumping? Because then he'll miss him. He just probably gotta feel like he's. And I want to make tension there, so that we read it like that, like stacking. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So this stream is just a lunch stream. Um, so it'll be a 1 hour. We've got 30 minutes left, and after that, I'm gonna go back to work. So one more half an hour of me doodling and ranting. Have you seen any good movies lately? You people who seem to like movies. Hey Tim Remmers, how's it going, man? Hey yo. Finally, you could make it when I'm instead of our morning ritual. So like I said, I think Altered Carbon is one of those lately that kind of really spoke to me. Oh, the water one. I haven't seen that one. It looks great though. Story of Water, or The Whisper of Water, or something like that. Yeah, that looked good. Team members. Yeah, I thought I'd spend just on my lunch to paint a little bit because my son isn't back from school yet. Usually I can't uh, stream on my lunch because of timing with school, but he has a later day today, so I thought I could play a video game or eat something or draw, and I opted for drawing. Hard to be God and a solitary man. Huh. That's some pretty hardcore stuff. Some deep in the movie lover. Well, a Pro 42. I'm not there yet. I think I'm episode 2 or 3, beginning of 3 or just finished 2. I can't remember. I watched some last night. It's pretty good. Pretty good. So no spoilers. Oh, Perfume. Yeah, that's a pretty cool movie. It's it as far as I remember, it didn't become a massive hit, but it's actually a really good movie. When it came out, I was like, whoa, this has some um, like what I took away from that movie when I watched it the first time. It was like I could feel the I could feel the not frustration, but the, kind of like frustration slash desperation of the murderer. Like he was so manic in his approach to smells, and it was such a weird. Like they really captured something in the murderer's behavior. I was really intrigued by that movie, Perfume. Oh, Hellcat. All right, but yeah, Perfume is a good one as well. Yeah, that's one of those you gotta revisit. What else did I watch recently? Oh, something I'm not really ashamed of, but I watched the entirety of Friends. You know that old TV show on Netflix. I had it on the background while working. All I think all last week. It was such a good TV show back in the days. Crazy. I remember like people waiting for the next episode. It's like, oh my god, did you hear? Do 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 do. Pro 42. This is just me doing something for fun. It's not for a client. Um, last last week, I started sketching. I did these thumbnails, and I asked people to vote on which one that I should finish. People chose number 2, so I've been streaming that. And I think this is the This is the last date of number two. I will continue on it tomorrow. Um, but this one I thought I'd just paid for myself. Yeah, Cars is actually pretty good movies. I really enjoyed them. Um, Cars is one of those that are really good. Like I've always had a, I really appreciated them when they came out. Cars one and two. Like I think they struck gold with that. Uh, Pixar. So this piece is just me, pro, just me doing whatevs. Just having fun, talking to you guys and doodling. There was people commenting that I sketch a lot on my streams, and I hardly ever finish anything. So I thought, why not just show me spending a little bit more time than 30 minutes on something, and hence this stream. Do follow it. Oil. They struck oil. Did I say some strike gold? Or maybe. I'm not English. My apologies. The saying. I now and then I always like try to translate sayings from Swedish to English, and they uh, never really work. It's always this lost in translation thing, and I'm always a little bit scared of trying to do these sayings like strike gold or strike oil. Um, I don't know which one is the right one. Pro 42. Yeah, I love sketching. I love the like creating aspect. Do follow it. Are you talking German? Sturmstricke. Surströmming, I mean. Yeah, the fermented herring. It's good stuff. Surströmming. Yup. It's actually quite tasty. I like surströmming. But everyone on the internet is eating it wrong. Limoleo. It does smell a bit. You shouldn't like snort it. It's never a good idea to snort fermented herring. But the real way to eat it is like on hard bread with potato and spices and onion and sour cream, and then a little bit on it because it's such a potent taste. You don't sit with a spoon and like that's people of internet that does that have no idea about the cultural aspect of eating it. They just, oh, this is stinky, let's eat it in front of a camera. It's actually when you eat it correctly, it's super tasty. It's like very strong anchovy flavor. You know that salty fish taste. It's really tasty. But you shouldn't snort it. It's not meant to be sniffed or opened indoors. You go outside and open it, and then you take it in. Hey, Kluman. Yeah, I know. It's clips the edges. Or do you mean of the canvas? Liboleo. Uh, we eat it at specific dates. Like it's culturally, we eat it at midsummers. And mostly when you eat it, you celebrate on the countryside or dinner outside. So if you get a waft of fish from your neighbor, then you know, like, all right, they opened a can of surströmming. But that's it. They know the poison. And it doesn't smell that bad. It's just very, very fermented. Herring. Yeah, you can eat it. Pickled as well. Pickled herring is super tasty. With boiled potato. Very classic taste. Not trying to be fancy or anything, it's just fish. Fish, period. You're eating fish. No fancy business. Dufaloid, yeah. I imagine the whole table with like 20 people all preparing dinner, and then they just forcefully smash potatoes up there. You know, so like there's a big bulge on in one each nostril, like they've been all been like through some heavy boxing match with potatoes falling out. That then they open the herring. That is hilarious. That's good stuff. I don't know what Pangasius fish is. Pro 42. Oops. Maybe a memory leak. Maybe you need to save and switch off and restart. Let Windows dump its memory. Or maybe you have Photoshop on at the same time. because Photoshop reserves RAM. Kliman, if I ever been on a podcast, I don't know podcast. I've been interviewed on Twitch, etc., on TV shows, but never like podcasts per se. No. Is it one of those comments? Good, please don't. I hope. Pangas. Oh, catfish. Huh. I'm from Northern Europe, so I don't know. That fish probably doesn't exist here. Oh yeah, definitely not around here. It's like no, not around my neighborhood. Dufaloid. At, before you overwork it, yeah, it's a good topic. Um, the thing is that's one of the reasons why I circulate in my a circle in my paintings. I start in one area and then uh, I move around so that I kind of treat everything to an equal degree. And the tighter I go, the at some point I choose the focal point and bear like carrying edges, bearing edges. You know, the edges that dictates the rhythm through the painting, and like lost edges and so on. And then you got to start working towards that. And there's a point always where it's a matter of when is it um, not finished, but when do you stop painting on it? And painting will never be finished. You should just is it's good enough now. I should stop painting on it. I like it as is. Like I wouldn't mind showing it publicly at this stage. Then it comes to artistic pride, uh, you know, skill level and so on. When do you think you can do better? Then maybe you need to boil down what is the essential changes until you're finished with it and move on. My turnaround is quite short because I love like painterly feeling in a lot of my art. Like I really enjoy that aspect of painting, the process of paint strokes. I tend to do very shorter amount of time on my paintings compared to other artists. Um, no one says that I'm doing it right or wrong. It's just it's my taste, right? And also with practice comes expertise, right? So I've been doing it for a lot of years now, and I got my process down quite well. And just to point out, I'm not an illustrator. My strengths are not illustration; it's character design. So that's why I'm doing a little bit of these as well, just for practice and doing art push-ups. Oh, Kliman. All right, yeah. I mean, I do a daily stream where I rant about stuff, but it's a rant rather than a conversation. I can't have a conversation with myself. But this I stream every day. You can click the YouTube archive underneath if you're bored. Do follow it, yeah. I feel like it's getting to a point where I need to start introducing color and mood in order to kind of make it work, because I feel like a lot of it will come through in color. It will make a lot more sense when I add colors. Like the whole mood and complexity will be explained. Um, so I think I might start adding colors now. Actually, I'm not gonna be streaming for a lot more. 10 more minutes. So what mood? I'm seeing it like as a almost like an indoor cave. So let's see. Let's work towards that at least. Cool light, maybe. Or cool shadows. That could be cool. Could be cool. That's kind of nice. I kind of like it. Neutral light and cool shadows. That could be an odd palette I haven't painted in quite some time. How about boosting some of that? Sorry, touching microphone. I kind of like that when the yellow was next to the blue, but that means it's gonna turn the shape, and then the darkest gonna be yellow. I don't want that. Let's go with that. Yeah. Helix. Yeah. Easy thing to happen. Need to tone down on that blue. It's way too powerful. And I think having it like this is not gonna work. Possibly. I think I need to tone everything a little bit cooler. Warmer. Warmer, because I want fire. I want, okay, let's do warmer, because I want fire in the scene. Like I want the orcs to be lifted out. That was the plan all along, I promise. The plan was to have like torches and stuff like that, so that first of all I can indicate the size of like how many they are, but I also wanted the idea of like soothy sooth and fire and unwelcomed mood, right? That he's this sole guy against the monsters. Pro 42 for this one, no, as this one is just random, complete random sketching. But I'm thinking just temporary decisions I've made in terms of narration in this image is that he is the lone hero, cornered, and the masses of an orc army is kind of pinning him down. but he is like an exceptional soldier that fights. So that's the whole idea currently behind like the reasoning behind my artistic decisions as I'm painting, because you got to have them to some degree if you're gonna make decisions of what's the purpose of this painting, right? So currently the purpose of this painting is to depict his last stand, right? Like he's fighting uphill battle, literally, in reverse. So that's the idea behind this, like terror from the deep, kind of. Because the topic is arrival of the one. So the idea is that the one army, rival of the one army, like the one army that will kill them all, and he's like, oh fuck, I'm dead. Helix, yeah, yeah, he's gonna chop his head off or give the hero like a scar across the face, that killer scar that will bring all the ladies to the bar. And then we can have play with some nice red underlight to help like sell the volumes, and keep the palette quite simple, clean and simple, so that it's not too much happening. We can just look at the difference in volume rather than difference in palette. And we could have the smoke like, or the fire bloom. I have to darken it. It's a bit too dark, too bright. We could have the fire, bloom in the fog. Like fire in the distance. That would be cool. Like that. Yeah, like that. Also helps to focus on the focal point a little bit. I think I went a bit too heavy. Now it's too much contrast. It needs to be a little bit better balanced. Or something like that. Hmm. Not sure really. The Gerald, yeah. My layer setup is non-existent. It's just process. I always do it like that. Smash it down. Oh, you can't see. Um, I just have like, okay, I'm making a new decision in the painting, so I make a new layer. And when I'm happy with that decision, I collapse it down. Unless the client wants like the character separate, then I have separated the character already. But as this is just me having fun, I just keep flattening the image, collapse it down. Need some like mountain structure, I think. Some cool vertical lines to help sell the illusion of depth here. But that's gonna be on another time, because I gotta stop. Um, Kliman, I do it sometimes. At the beginning of the stream, I was painting it in this direction. Um, I try to do that. Most of the times, when establishing the painting, and then I don't do it that often until I'm starting to work towards the final state, where highlights matter, where like focal points matter. Then I flip it, and to try to balance it. But at the moment now, all I do is just hard work. Yeah, Clement. That's why you need to mirror in the beginning when you're establishing, and then you don't need to worry that much. All right. Thanks everyone for coming. I'm gonna end the stream now. I gotta get back to work. My lunch ended. Nice 1 hour stream. It will go back straight up to YouTube afterwards. So thanks everyone for coming. Have a great one. See you tomorrow morning for the standard warm up. My pleasure, Clement. Anytime. Just drop in whenever I'm streaming, and I'll happily answer questions. All right. Thanks everyone for hanging out with me. It was a pleasure. Bye. And I'm gonna treat you to my standard outro. Bye.